I already told you about improvisation? I think no. So let's talk about a few concepts, a few ideas, some mandatory, a necessary understanding of music for improvisation, and specifically in African music. And before we pick the guitar, I really want you to grasp the concepts, to understand music as a language. And anytime you're gonna try to practice at home your guitar, practice improvisation, practice your solos, practice your rhythmic guitar, and all of your skills, think of it like a language. Think of it like a speech. Think about it just like if it was an inaugural address. Yep, just like if you were a president. So here are the concepts I want you to understand. When you think of music like a speech or any conversation you're about to start, you can start to put a link on every step of your language learning. Language, music, talking, solos. And you remember as kids, the first thing you learned was the alphabet, right? The equivalent of the alphabet in the music is your different notes. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. You don't forget the sharp and flat notes. Okay, after the alphabet, you learn some words. And let's say that words are like pieces of scales, patterns, some breakdowns of them, pieces of chords, triads, all those pieces of things that you can use separately in your music, right? In one hand, you have words, which are the equivalent of pieces of scales, pieces of chords, etc. Okay, we're still in the basics. And what's the next step? The next step would be to learn short expressions, short sentences. You learn the sentences, you learn the expressions, you learn some quotes maybe, and you also learn their context, right? The context of this expression, the context of these quotes, and how to use them. And that's when things start to be interesting. So I said, here are the few notes: alphabet, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Alphabet, right? And then you start learning words. Pieces of words are like, you're still in the key of C, right? Triads like that, what I called in other videos kind of shortcuts of chords, yeah, an inverted form of chords. Those are your words. Or maybe pieces of scales like the major scale that we have here, or the pentatonic scale, which is, this is the full form of the pentatonic scale in one position. And we can say that a word would be, that could be a word, right? Okay? And this is two part of the pentatonic scale. So this position, and then this other position. And if I start like to take a piece of both and to create another word, it would be, you see that? Okay, this is a word, that would be a word, maybe that may be a word, or that may be a word. Just like if you were training yourself to spell and to pronunciate properly a specific word. Jeopardize, 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 jeopardize. Like for me, when I started to learn English, some words were very difficult to pronunciate. Words like embezzlement, emphasize, apologize. And when you're not used to pronunciate this kind of intonation, right, it just sounds weird for you, you know. I was born in Congo, learned Lingala was my first language, and French. And then you start to learn English. Man, it was crazy. Embezzlement, embezzlement, embezzlement. Apologize, apologize, apologize. So you could be practicing a few words just like that. Any this is the use of thick intervals here. And you can find some of those words on my Instagram page, the 7 Academy Instagram page. I show some of those words here that you can easily learn and then bring together to create a sentence. Alright, and so the sentences are the kind of riff played for improvisation. So you can take those sentences, depending on their contexts, as short part of improvisation. And you will probably agree with me that president, when they're doing their speeches, their inaugural address, or any address, they may sometimes joke, use some quotes over there, sometimes to make the public laugh. And you can think the same way for your improvisation. So those expressions would be the different words, sentences brought together to create a speech here. And trying to create that speech with a logic manner, a consistent address. Now, if you understand that correctly, you know exactly how you're going to practice your improvisation. First of all, learn the alphabet. I mean the alphabet on the guitar. It's not just like theoretically, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So I know the alphabet. No, I mean you have to learn the alphabet on your guitar. You know exactly in which frets you can press to play any notes here. The notes that you know theoretically, you have to be able to find it on your fretboard. That may be the first step. And maybe you won't know all your frets by heart in the beginning, but at least start to learn a few words. Just like babies, you can't master all the dictionary. You can't know every words that exists, but you have to start with a few words, necessary expression that you can use on daily basis. So learn the alphabet on the guitar. And for that, the major scale can be a very good way to start, like to learn your first position in the major scale. And the advantage of starting with the major scale is that you will learn the alphabet and already a few words. You can start to learn pieces of words just like that. And that's the second step, learning pieces of words. See, like the previous one I showed you, picked from the pentatonic scales, or this one from the major scale. And then you can start to learn some sentences depending on their context. The context will be the style. The beat maybe could be a rumba beat or a 7-beat. The speed of this beat, the speed of the band teammate can be playing. This will create a context. But many things here, many sentences, many improvisation, many solos you may learn by heart, you can adapt them. Yeah, you can transform them to make it fit with any context. And this is something very important. If you're smart enough and if you practice smartly enough, you will be able to play any sentence in any context. You will adapt it. You will transform it, to change it, just to make it fit exactly in the context you will be playing. Just like one I've been playing in my Instagram. Then what could be the next step when you know your alphabet, you know words, you know expression, you know sentences, quotes, and their contexts? The next things you have to practice is to bring all of that together. And in a way that is very natural here, in a way that is automatic, in a creative way, Because improvisation actually is not something that you start from zero. It's something that you start from a library, what I can call a library of words, sentences, and quotes, expression that you're gonna be able to readapt and to bring together to create your improvisation specifically in the context you will be. So at home, when you practice on any backing track or any beats you may find on the internet, you will be practicing to create logically with consistency and also to create transition here. Because from one sentence to the other, from one topic to the next topic, there should be a transition. You can't jump from one topic to the other without any transition. And this is another matter. But if you already know these previous steps, you're already good to go. The next one will be about feeling, creativity, playing, practicing, and also listening a lot. Yeah, because babies, they just repeat what the parents say. Kids, children say exactly what they hear. And maybe growing, they start to make their own idea, to build their own personality. So it takes some time to learn and to master. But I'm sure that if you understand these concepts, it's just a question of time. Your commitment in your practicing, in your language learning. And I'm sure if you keep going on, you may be the best speaker that you want to be. And it's up to you. So I hope you take the deep sense of what I'm saying. And that's the way I teach my students in the 7 Academy. Trying to make things easy to understand. Understanding those concepts is the biggest part. Then practicing is all you have to do. Okay, so let's open the conversation in the comment section. I'll be happy to see what you think of this way of thinking. If you've already heard this advice, if that really helps you, just let me know. I will be happy to answer your comments right below. And don't forget to like. If you haven't subscribed yet, here is the opportunity. Trying something new, trying to learn guitar differently with an African way. You've been learning guitar with blues, rock and roll, classic music. Start to try something new, African music. So make sure to subscribe and to click on the bell. You can also follow me on my social medias. My Instagram, 7 Academy Instagram, and Isaac Sari on my personal Instagram. And you'll find much more links there. So I hope to have you on those platforms. Fam, I feel like I miss words for real because English is not my native language. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. See you soon, fam. Love you. Man, I miss them things.